Hey, how is it going? Today is day 7 of 100 days. This is a 100-day challenge of inspiration where I'm going to be doing Facebook Lives. So today my quote is, are you ready to receive? So are you ready to receive the things that you're asking for, the things that you say that you want? One of my favorite videos that I really love is by Steve Harvey. And he talks about years ago when he lived with his mom, he always wanted a new car. And he would tell his mom, hey mom, I'm going to get a new car. And she was like, I'm sure you are. And then a couple weeks would go by, nothing would happen. He would come back to his mom and he was so excited. He'd say, Mom, I'm going to get a new car. I'm going to get a new car. And she would just say, yeah, okay, I'm sure. And again, he would come to his mom, Mom, I'm going to get a new car. I'm going to get a new car. And this went on for like a year where he kept coming to his mom, being full of excitement, and she would just kind of brush him off. And he was like, man, why is my mom not excited? I'm going to get a new car. And so finally he asked her, Mom, I am so excited about this new car I'm going to get. Like, how come every time I bring up this new car, you turn it down and you just kind of roll your eyes? And she looks at him and she says, what's in the driveway? What about your old car? You see, his old car was on wood in the driveway, taking up space. And where was he going to put his new car? So as soon as his mom said that, he thought about that. He got rid of the old car. He made space. He cleared out. He said that he cleaned off the pavement, swept the leaves, made it all nice and new and shiny, and prepared himself to get the new car. And then finally, after a year of saying he was going to get a new car and not, 2 weeks later, he got a new car. So there is something in making room for the things that you say you want. Sometimes we say that we want things, but our actions aren't in alignment with the things that we say that we want. So an example in my life, I know I've definitely experienced this in different ways. An example in my life is my relationship. So I have always said that I want a great relationship. And when I was single, I would say, man, I just really want a great relationship. And I would pray to God and all these things and I would want it. But I was working so much. I was working 10 or 12-hour days. And I remember finally one day having a realization and I was like, I am working so much that how am I ever going to have time to get to know somebody? How am I going to have time to invest in somebody else and building a relationship? What I'm saying I want, a relationship, and my actions, working all the time, those things are not in alignment. So it made sense that I wasn't getting the thing that I said that I wanted. And honestly, it's crazy because as soon as I realized that and made the switch, I pulled back from working also because I was just exhausted. I was unhappy. I was miserable. I wasn't listening to any of my intuition. I was just being a team player and a people pleaser. But there's balance and you have to take care of yourself first so that you can take care of others. But that is a whole side point. When I finally pulled back, I created that space to find somebody. I had space to build a relationship, and within a couple months I met someone and we were able to build that time and spend that time together getting to know each other. We actually started out long distance, so we needed a lot of time to communicate and talk, and that relationship is the one that put a ring on it. So it really is a real thing. If you're saying that you want something and you don't have it, I would encourage you to do some reflection, right? We talked about self-reflection yesterday. Is there something that you might be doing that is pushing that very thing away? Now, I know it's easy to just be like, no, I'm not doing anything. It's just the timing isn't right, or so-and-so, this is happening, or whatever. It's easy to point the finger at other people, at other things, at outside forces. But maybe, just maybe, there's something you're doing, or, it might be just a small thought that you're having. Maybe you're telling yourself that you're not ready to do that thing that you want to do. But why? Why aren't you ready for that? So I want to read a little bit from The Artist's Way that kind of hits that point. And it says, it kind of talks about when you're going through a transformation, it's normal to kind of want to get rid of things. And again, getting rid of things creates space for new things. So by tossing out the old and unworkable, we make way for the new and suitable. A closet stuffed with ratty old clothes does not invite new ones. A house overflowing with odds and ends and tidbits you've held onto for someday has no space for the things that might truly enhance your day. So this can be applied in all different ways, right? Like even in your closet. I'm in my closet right now. That's where I do these videos. And you know, maybe you have a lot of clothes, but they're not bringing you happiness. That Marie Kondo, who was really like famous a couple years ago, talks about like picking up each item and holding it in your hand and seeing if it gives you happiness. And if it does, you keep it. And if not, you say thank you for the time you had, and then you place it. And I just have to believe that everything in life is kind of like that. So if you're holding on to things and you're not happy with those things, whether it's a job or your old car or something in your closet, if there is something in your life that is taking up precious space in your life or is taking energy from you and it's not providing you happiness or joy, then get rid of it. You have to make the decision to have the courage to get rid of it before that new thing can come in. So I would love to hear if you have examples of how this has happened for you. And if not, I would love to hear something that you want to get rid of. You know, talking about these things is the first kind of step toward taking action. So I would love to hear what these things are for you. So thank you very much. Don't forget, show up for yourself even when you don't want to. This is day 7. If you want more information, you can check out my website at showuptogoup.com. Bye.